Hey guys, Sean here. Today I'm going to show you how to very simple and easily edit your drone footage on your iPhone or iPad using iMovie. iMovie is a $4.99 app in the App Store. I think it's really worth it. It will put out 4K. You can do a bunch of different things as far as editing goes. So I think it's a great program, especially to have on the fly. I tend to use it a lot when I'm traveling or on vacation. So what I typically do, and I'll put a link down in the description, is I actually got this really nice and convenient mini SD card reader, and I can take out my SD card out of my Mavic Air, and I can actually put it in the SD card reader, and it has a lightning cable connection, and I can actually look at my footage, full resolution 4K, on my phone, and then actually put whatever clips I select onto my phone and sort in my photos too. So I'll put that down in the description. But let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and open up iMovie. Okay, as you can see, I have a couple other projects in here. But to start our first project, we're going to hit the plus button on this top left square here. All right, and it's going to ask us if we want a movie or a trailer. And we're going to select movie. And down at the bottom, we're going to hit Create Movie. Okay, so this is now the blank screen to go ahead and create a new project. So the first thing we're going to do is hit the plus sign on the left side about 3/4 the way up. Now, anytime we add something, we hit that plus sign. This particular time, to start off our video edit here, we want to go ahead and select video. But as you can obviously see, we also can add audio from here, we can add photos from here, and a bunch of other things too. But let's go ahead and start off with our video clips. So we can go to all, recently added, etc. I'm just going to go to recently added. All right, so the clips I want, I have several. So I'm going to add one clip at a time. I select the clip, hit the plus. Then I'm going to select the next one, hit the plus again, go to the next one, hit the plus. I think there might be one more. Let's go ahead and, now the last one's a full video. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit cancel. All right, so we have our 3 clips here. We have our bird's eye view shot of this river and the snow, which is our last clip. Our middle clip here, which is flying over backwards over the water, and then we have our long sweeping view clip here over the trees. So first of all, what I want to do is, if you missed the first video, I'm going to make this video as close to the first video as we could using Final Cut Pro on the computer. So I'm actually going to drag this clip to the beginning. I want this clip to be first. So all you do is put your finger on it. You can see a yellow bar around it that selects it. Then I can actually pick it up and drag it wherever I want with my finger. But right now I'm going to leave it in the beginning. Okay, so let's go ahead and start actually editing this footage. So this is the beginning of the video. Anything that is crossing the white bar here in the middle is what you see on the preview screen ahead. The lower section down here, where the clips currently are, is what they call the timeline. And just as a reminder, anything that ends up in this timeline down here, whether it's video or audio, is going to end up in your final project. So if there's something down here that you see that you do not want to show up in your final project, we need to figure out a way to remove it. So first off, let's go ahead and start actually slicing up some of these clips. Now, just to save time, I'm going, instead of hitting the play button like this, I'm actually just going to scroll with my finger left to right. So you can see this clip here, I'm actually getting ready to set up the drone. And then I go ahead and start actually shooting my shot. So let's go ahead and edit all this stuff out. So I'm going to select by pressing on this clip. It turns out to have a yellow bar around it. And then I'm going to drag my finger to the right until I get to the point that I want to start editing it. Now, it should start moving backwards right about there. So let's go ahead and hit the play button and watch that. Okay, I like that. Just misses that branch. All right, then it stops here over the bridge. So I do not like having myself in the videos. I try not to. Sometimes it's inevitable. But so right now what I want to do is edit this out, because I actually sit here for a couple seconds. I hover a little bit, and then I start shooting this nice backing away shot over top of the river. I want to keep that, but I want to delete this middle section with the bridge out. So the way we can do that is right where the white line is where I have currently selected in the preview screen. I'm going to go ahead and just touch this clip with my finger. Yellow bar shows up around it. And then I'm just going to hit the split button down here. Now you can see also, while I'm at it, I'm going to explain this. While the yellow bar is around it, I have on the bottom here, left to right, I have the scissors for editing. I have the stopwatch here, so I can go ahead and speed up or slow-mo the clips. I do not have currently any audio in this particular clip, but if I did, the little speaker would show up and I can adjust the audio level. I also can add all sorts of different titles from this screen. And there's also a filter button, so I can go ahead and slap a filter on here if I want to. I tend to not use these. The most I really do is I use black and white if I want to make a clip black and white. But some of these are a little extreme, so I tend to stay away from that. But let's go back to the edit. All right, now what I want to do here, this is exactly where I want to splice this clip. Different programs have call this different things. They virtually do the same thing. Some programs, editing programs, call this a blade function. Some editing programs call this a split function. So in this particular one for iMovie on your mobile device, they call it split. So let's go ahead and hit split. Boom. Now, what this little box is in here is just showing the space between clips. Later on, we'll add these at the end, but that is actually a transition. That's currently showing that there is no transition, but we do have an option to pick amongst a few different type of transitions inside the iMovie mobile app. So now we want to edit these clips back. So let's go ahead and finish this one off. I'm going to select this clip and then move our finger left, and we should see the drone go before the bridge, and right before the bridge enters the screen right there, I'm going to go ahead and end that clip. So this is now our first completed clip. So there it is, backing up, and it ends right before the bridge gets into view. So similar here, I'm going to take this clip, I'm scrolling left to right, and this bridge doesn't ever really get completely out of the screen, but once it gets mostly out of the screen, I'm going to go ahead and right about there, I'm going to go ahead and let that be the beginning of this particular clip as it's backing away over the river, and I believe this ends up over the trees and actually stalls out for a second while I end the drone path. So I'm going to go ahead and move this right to left, and as soon as it gets just basically behind this tree, I like that as a good stopping point. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that right there. So let's go ahead and check out what we have so far. Okay, we're flying backwards down the river. Nice, peaceful, tranquil shot. Then we have the other side of the bridge with the bridge part edited out now. Backs up over the river. And then ends up behind the trees. And that should stop right about there. Perfect. All right. So our next clip here, I'm going to go ahead and select this. And just by knowing this clip, this moves forward. So I want to basically start this clip right as soon as that bridge at the bottom gets out of screen. Right about there. So I'm going to take this, select this clip, move my finger left to right. That will progress the video forward. And right about there is where I want the clip to start. Actually, let me go a little bit more just to make sure that bridge is out of the screen. Alright, okay, very cool. And this is a nice, long, sweeping view clip. This is the main clip I want to showcase. Just absolutely beautiful. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but in this particular shot, as I was taking it, as I'm moving forward with the drone, I'm also using the pan wheel to pan the gimbal up. So you can see the camera is actually panning up very slowly as I'm progressing forward with the drone. Now there comes a point where the pan is maxed out and I'm still flying forward, but what I want to do for viewing pleasure is actually stop it before the pan gets maxed out. There should actually be like a small little jitter where the camera kind of says, okay, I can't move anymore. So I still have my finger down the pan button on the remote control. Alright, let's see here. Should be right about here. Right there. You can see that. Pans up, boom, is now straight. Pans up, boom, is now straight. Alright, so let's find out exactly where that is. There's that little jitter. The little jitter is right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I do this quite frequently. I've been doing this a long time. So a little jitter right in there. So I'm going to stop it right there before the jitter. Select the clip just by pressing on it gently for a moment. And then right where that white line is where I'm going to split the clip. Hit split. Boom. We now have two clips. So let's continue to look at this clip as we progress forward. So now the drone is stopped. You can see that. Boom, the drone stopped. Now, what I do see a lot of times, some mistakes made by some inexperienced editors, is they actually leave a lot of this stuff in. And to me, that's just sloppy editing. They leave a lot of the drone movements. They leave a lot of the movements into setting the next shot up still in the video. And I think from a viewer standpoint, that's just kind of like sloppy editing. It kind of messes with your visual mind a little bit. Should be telling a story in each one of your videos, right? And creating a mood. And for this particular mood of the video, it's very gentle. I like making nice, relaxing nature videos. So I'm not trying to have kind of awkward, rough, violent movements inside this particular video. So, and there are other videos like that. If this was maybe an adventure video, if we were kayaking down the river in whitewater or something like that, you could probably get away with having a little more violent movements and editing in some, a little faster paced music and stuff like that. But this particular video is not that type of video. So I don't think we really have anything in this particular clip that we want to keep. So I'm going to select it, hit delete. That's gone. Okay, so now we have our final clip here. And if I remember correctly, we actually back the drone up, get it ready for the shot. Then we start progressing forward. Okay, so let's go ahead back to the beginning of this clip. Select it by pressing down on it for a moment. Move your finger left to right. As you can see, the drone backs up, gets ready for the shot, and we should start seeing this go forward. Okay, so another mistake I see frequently is people will start the clip when the drone is stationary. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play here, and you can see what I'm talking about. The drone is stationary and then starts moving actually inside the clip. Stationary, then starts slowly moving and getting up to speed. So what I want to do is avoid that. So I'm actually going to edit this clip, dragging my finger left to right until it gets up to speed. So it's starting to move there, and then it gets up to speed right about there. Let's go ahead and hit play and check it out. Much better. Much better. It's a little easier on the eyes, I think, too. You're not watching, it's kind of sloppy editing, I guess, leaving the stationary section of it in there and then moving the drone around. So it's a little cleaner look as well. So this goes down the river a little bit. Bird's eye view straight down. And then should go into the trees. And there's a dirt road right over these trees too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this here, because that's the rest of the clip. So quite certainly, you know, this is still pretty, right? There's snow on the ground, there's snow in these trees, it looks gorgeous. And the drone stops. But for the purpose of this whole entire little video we're editing is to really showcase the river. So I don't really need pretty much anything from here forward. So I'm going to go ahead to the end of this video. I'm going to select this clip by pressing down on it momentarily. Put my finger right to left. I'm going to back up this particular clip. Right. Oop. See, it's a little bit too much. So I'm going to go back left to right. And I'm going to, as soon as this gets out of frame, right about there. That's pretty fair. I'm going to leave that as the end of the video. You can't really see the road 100%. You know what? I'm actually going to back it off a little more. I don't like that you can see the road that much. There, that's pretty fair. Okay. So something overall as well. So we have the beginning of our clip, right? Let's go back to the beginning. This is now the beginning. So we have one river clip. Boom. Second river clip. Now this is almost a continuation. See, we're moving the same motion backwards. So we're going to kind of make this like one clip. So featuring the river, moving the same direction backwards, over the top of trees. Now we have the money shot, this nice, sweeping, tranquil clip over top the snow-covered trees with the camera panning slightly up. All right. Then we have another river shot. So what we did here, as if you had noticed, is we did a river shot. We featured the river just in the beginning, but then we did a scenic shot. Then we did another feature river shot. So we actually broke up the monotony of having a bunch of river shots all together with this nice sweeping clip here. Okay, so now that we're done with the actual physical edits, let's go ahead and do some other things to this. First off, let's go to this little wheel down here in the bottom right hand corner. Press that. It asks you what you want to do. I always leave this as simple because it allows me to then edit the transitions and edit the music pretty much however I want. I'm not going to put any project filters on this, but what I do want to do is I want to fade out to black. Fade out to black, hit done. Now I like fading out to black for the simple reason that it lets the viewer know the video is now over. So looks nice and pretty right there. And then we know that that is our ending point. There's no more clips popping up at the end of that. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to edit our transitions. So let's go ahead and select a transition. As you can see, we have a bunch of here on the bottom. Now, quite certainly, you can add whichever one you want. But a mistake I see a lot of times is, they'll do one transition here, then behind another clip, they'll choose a different transition and have like one of each transition. I really think you should have like a theme to your video. It's a little confusing to the viewer and your brain. If you watch the video, every time there's a clip, there's a different transition. This one only gives you, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It only gives you 6 total. However, I don't think you should be using all 6 in your videos. You should be using maybe 2 max. So, but for the purpose of this video, since I do want it to be tranquil and relaxing, is I'm going to pick the dissolve transition. So as you can see, I'll hit play for real time on this. And I'm actually going to make this 1 second. You can see down here in the bottom and bottom left, it will actually show you how long that transition will be. I'm going to go ahead and make it 1 second. It's a nice gradual transition. So let's hit play and watch this really quick. You can see what I'm talking about. Nice fade from one clip to the next. Very relaxing. Once again, theme of this video, being that it is nature, is I want it to be relaxing as possible for the viewers. So let's go back and edit this particular transition as well. All right, cross dissolve, 1 second. All right, very good. Very nice. Okay, looks good, looks good. Now we're going to do something a little different with this particular transition. So if you had watched the desktop video, we made kind of like a jump edit swoosh right here where it looked like we were fast forwarding from basically like over the bridge. Like somebody hit fast forward on the drone really quick and went from one shot, boom, to the next. So this particular software on your app does not have that, but we can try to manipulate that and make it as close as possible. So let's go ahead and do a wipe. And as we hit the wipe button multiple times, you can see the blue dot changes, and so does the direction of the wipe. And I don't think we want this to go up. I think I may want this to go down. Let's take a look at the down. Whoosh. Okay, I like that the best. So I'm going to leave that alone. Actually, you know what? Let's go up. I think up looks a little bit better. All right, there's no perfect science to this. Some people probably are going, no, the down looked better. What I like the up a little better. So that's going to be like our craziest, like small advanced edit in this particular video. All right, so to review, we have the backing up over the trees, down the river. We have our swipe edit, backing up even more, ends up over top of the trees. Goes to the cross fades out to the next clip. Nice sweeping money shot view here, relaxing view over top of the trees. Cross fade into the final clip, bird's eye view down on the river, and then ends up going over top of the trees and fades out to black. That's our video. All right, now what I want to do is I want to add some audio. So go back to the beginning of the clip, hit the plus button. Now this will default back to video. So if I hit the video in the top left, the back button, you can see, and I hit back again. Now we go all the way back here, and now we have our main screen that we can add stuff from. So let's go ahead and add audio. Now we have a bunch of different things. You got different sound effects, soundtracks, which are like generic in-app, like generic music. And you also have My Music, which ties in with your iTunes. So I actually created a playlist inside my iTunes for movie sound effects. So I'm actually, just so I know where it goes, I'm going to go in there, go into playlist, and I should have movie sounds right here. And what I'm looking for is a fast swoosh. Fast swoosh. There it is. Boom. You can listen to it, but right now I have the microphone plugged in, so I can't. But I'm going to hit the plus button. All right. So now we have the fast swish. So I'm going to put my finger on the fast swish. I'm going to drag it until we get to that transition. So we're going to go whoosh from one transition to the next. So it should give it a nice, quick sound effect. I like that. Perfect. Very cool. Okay. Now, that is a little loud, so I'm going to put my finger on it, hit the audio button down here in the middle, and then back that out to about 30, because that was quite loud. All right, much better. Okay, now I want an overall theme music for the video, so hit the plus button. Okay, hit playlist back. And then this particular song is recently added in my playlist for iTunes. I'm going to scroll down. The one I want actually says, I think, free download on it. Let's see here. Quiet Nights, free download. Plus button. Go ahead and add it to the timeline of the video. Once again, to repeat myself, anything that shows up in this timeline will be in your final video. So there's our swoosh in blue, theme music in green. There's all of our clips. So what I'm going to do now is, I know this song is quite loud. I'm going to select it with my finger, and I'm going to take this music down till about 50%. All right, we'll let go. And what I also want to do is at the end of the video, so now I'm going to scroll all the way to the end. I'm going to select the audio again. You can see the fade button over here on the bottom right. I'm going to hit that, and this little arrow pops up, and that allows me to adjust the music fading out. So that's probably about a good 4 seconds or so. So that will actually fade the music out and then goes into black. So it's a nice transition at the end of the video. So that is our video. Hit done. Okay, and then hit the save button down here in the middle. All right, and I want to export. I want to save the video. Then this will save it to my photos. Always, always, always export it in the highest quality possible. So in this particular instance, that's 4K. Why I say that, although it takes up more memory, it actually, most social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook and Instagram are definitely the worst. They will downgrade your footage automatically. So Instagram is probably the biggest culprit of this. So you want to post it on Instagram in the highest quality possible. So when it does kind of take some quality away, it's still decent at least. So that's kind of something you just want to make sure you do. Always, always export in the highest quality possible. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please go ahead and leave them in the comments in the description. There are links to my Twitter and Instagram. If you don't want to leave a comment or are embarrassed, you can send me a direct message on there. And I hope this helps you out and get some of that beautiful drone footage out in the world. All right, guys, thanks so much. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.